Hi. In recent videos we've been talking about planning our way out of this crisis, what we're going to do as when we get over the coronavirus situation, because we are emerging into a developing economic crisis and we know that. And we've already talked and mentioned about things like Brexit, in that if all goes to government plans, we will be completely out of Europe come next January. So we have to plan for all these eventualities. Now, when we're putting our plans together, one of the things that we've really got to consider is how the workforce fits in with those plans. Because all too often we think, well, we'll grow our business by X% over this coming period, and then we'll employ Y% more people in our business. And we don't always think about what exactly will the skills and knowledge requirements be for this coming year, this next year. And so what I want to talk about today is to go with the workforce planning that I discussed in a recent video, planning the workforce development and using the present situation where either businesses have slowed to a trickle or even to a halt, to develop our workers and think about how our employees can make use of some of the time now and look at how we can make use of any learning opportunities in the future. Now, first of all, I would like to mention things like apprenticeships and courses that people can go on. So there's plenty of support, plenty of government support for apprenticeships, and I would definitely recommend that should you be able to develop an apprentice, then please do, because we're investing in our industries for the future. We've seen in the past that when we're going into an economic downturn, and I mean frequently in the past, we're going into an economic downturn, and one of the first things to go from a business's expenditure is the training budget. Very often that is short term, it's an expedience, and I can see why it happens. You know, why should we be spending all this money on training? What's it going to do for us? And this trainee, this apprentice is going to leave us at the end of this. So all this time and energy and money that we're investing in this is going down the pan. We can't afford it. We're going to cut it. Thing is, in the longer term, that doesn't do us or a larger economy any good, because then we end up with skills shortages. What I want to talk about is that you can do that. You can put the money into that. You can put the money into sending people on generic courses. And I would definitely, recommend that should you be able to do that, then that is brilliant. But if you send someone on a course, so for instance, when I worked for a large local authority many years ago, I asked for and was sent on what was then the Institute of Personnel Management, the IPM, and that was worthwhile to me because I applied that learning in what I was doing, and as I was learning it, I applied it. So if you're going to send someone on one of these courses, then make sure you know what the content is and how the ongoing learning can be applied to your work, and also how you can develop the people that are on the courses so that the work that they're doing fits in to the course that they're doing. So get synergy from that. All too often I've seen people go on courses, the learning is not applied into the work, because work is often seen as the real world, and the qualification is seen as just a qualification. But there's a lot of learning to be had and a lot of learning that can be applied. So if you are going to invest in someone's time to go on such a course, first of all, make sure that you have a contract that can recover the cost of that course when should they leave within a given period. So for instance, if you're going to spend a few £1,000s on sending someone on a CIPD qualification, then you want to know that first, that investment is going to impact positively on your business. And second, that it's not going to impact negatively if they then put that on their CV and jump ship and go somewhere else immediately, because you paid for that. You want a return on your investment. Nothing wrong with that. If you are going to invest in other courses, so for instance, a good few years ago, I was working for a local authority and working with the part of the authority that provided school meals and catering services throughout the council. Very large council, very large business, multi-million-pound turnover for that. And I wanted to have the top tiers and the middle tiers of that management developed in such a way that they were more business focused. Now, the senior manager in that business had previously invested in a marketing course which cost many thousands of pounds. Many managers went on it and there was no measurable impact at all, no measurable impact. And I wanted them to do a business improvements techniques course. So I negotiated with a provider for that, for an MVQ level 2 business improvement techniques course, got a price for it, built into a business case for that course that they needed to return 2.5 times the investment spent on that course in the first years. So there's no point in sending someone on a course and getting nothing back. They returned 5 times the investment in the first year because they learned to apply the learning to their work. So if you're going to pay for a course, if you're going to buy in a course, then make sure that that you get a return on that. Now, in my book, Human Resource Management Made Easy, I also show you how you can develop your own internally delivered courses. And I'll tell you how to do that from the start. And first of all, I'll tell you how to do a learning needs analysis. Now, in a recent video, I demonstrated that you start at the end. Where do you want to be? What are your business goals? And how are you going to get there? So you build in your objectives. And then you look at where you are now, and that's your present state analysis. And you look at what learning is required to get you from here to here. And then you build in your targets. When's it going to happen? How's it going to happen? How's it going to be delivered? What results do you expect? So now you have a plan. You've got your objectives, you've got your starting point, you've got your plan, and you've got the points at which you're going to measure your progress against that. And I show you how to do that. But I also show you how to develop your own internal courses based on the knowledge that you have and based on perhaps going back to having other people go on courses, having them come back and training colleagues in what they've learned. So, using the example of the Business Improvement Techniques course, a manager goes on the Business Improvement Techniques course. They then have a project to implement and develop. The people that are working on that project are then mentored or led by the person that's been on the course. That person teaches them what they've already learned, and then everyone's benefiting, everyone's learning. So you're creating a learning culture within your organization. So then you've got a situation where you've got your plan, you've got your different ways of delivering, and you've got the mechanisms for designing your own courses. So when you're designing your own courses, if you're designing something with someone, or someone is just being on a course and you want them to convey that learning to their colleagues, there are some techniques to be learned. Techniques in presentation, techniques in how to design a course. And I take you through that in the book. I take you through how to do that. And just like with your learning needs analysis, you start with your goals. What do you want to achieve from this course that you're designing? What do you want to achieve from this learning experience that you're designing? So first, that's what you want to know. So you set in your objectives, your aims and objectives. Basic, fundamental training for trainers there. Set your objectives first. Then understand how you're going to measure those objectives being achieved. Are you going to measure it by, you're doing a course, nice, simple, chalk and talk, stand at the front of the room and present a case for something. You present your learning plan, and then you meet that learning plan by going through the course you've just designed. And then how do you measure that? How do you know that everyone's understood? Well, the first thing that happens is that a lot of trainers will provide a sheet that has comments on it, so the people that have been subject to your course can then clarify whether it was good for them, whether they learned anything, what they're going to do with that learning, and so on and so forth. But these are known informally as happy sheets, because more often than not, the people will mark you up so as not to offend you, and especially if they're your employees, they're not going to say, oh, that was a bit, a bit rubbish. They're going to say, that was fantastic, I've learned a lot. But how do you know they're going to apply it? How do you know the impact of what you've just done in terms of measuring it? So we come back to this course design. You've set your objectives. Now, how are you going to measure the transfer of learning? And that's key. Not just the transfer of learning in the sessions that you are organised, but transfer of learning into the actual work. So you will understand that your investment in time and energy and perhaps a little bit of money in putting this course together has had an actual impact on your business. So I take you through how to do these things and design different courses and design different learning experiences, and they don't have to be in a course format, but they all follow the same rule. Building your objectives and building your measurement mechanisms to make sure that that learning is transferred into the world of work and has a positive impact. And if it doesn't, then you'll need to understand why it's not having a positive impact, and then you can address that. Just like everything else with your business, measure it, understand it. Don't waste money. Make sure that any learning is seen as an investment. Okay, we'll keep on doing the updates on the coronavirus and the situation as it's impacting on employment. And interspersed with those, we'll do videos like this where we're talking about what we're doing during this and when we get out of this, to make sure that we have got an employment situation where people want to come and work for you. They're motivated, they're enthused, they're developed, they've got a future. And remember, we've got a future and we're working for it now. So stay safe, and I'll speak soon. Bye.